Going on, world? It's your boy Malcolm Miller, aka Malcolm Miller, the lady killer. Man, I got a whole lot of names like I always say, and let's get straight to it because I'm a straight shooter on topics like this, topics that strike a nerve with me, that concern me heavily. And we're gonna talk about Hue Jackson. Hue Jackson is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, the National Football League team, and he made some remarks regarding the protests that's going on amongst the NFL players. He said, I hope we don't have those issues. I understand there's a lot going on in the world. I like to just keep it there. What we deal with, we try to deal with it as a team in our closed environment. We talk about things, but hopefully that won't happen. I don't think that's where our focus is. We hope the things that are going on in the world gets ironed out. But I know right now we're doing everything we can to get our football team better. Get our football team better. Now let's be clear, because I hate when coaches do this whole coach talk, this prototypical coach talk. We just want to focus on football, especially when it deals with a matter of protests. Protesting that concerns a huge majority of your football team. The National Football League is made up of 70% African Americans. Once they leave their job, they're back into the real world. They're not exempt from what goes on in this country due to the fact that they're on a football team, they're a football player. Specifically because of the fact that they're in a sport where people can't even recognize them. They have helmets on more than half of the time. And even the players that are recognizable in football and basketball, they're not always exempt from things just because they're football players. Stop it, man. This is the real world. They have to deal with the real world outside of their workplace. These issues matter to them because they come from these communities. So why would you discourage them from protesting? Why would you discourage them from doing so? Now, I'm not saying he had to encourage them to protest. He didn't have to say, man, everybody on the team should protest. I'm not saying that because that's not for everybody. That's not everybody's lane. But to go out and discourage them, blatantly discourage them, and then try to dismiss the comments by saying, I just hope things get ironed out. Hopefully that won't happen. What we deal with it in a closed environment. So that lets me know you're scared with making people uncomfortable. Scared with making people uncomfortable so much that you don't want it done on your team because, hey, you don't want to be looking like you're the advocate for it. But come on, man. Are you serious, dog? Are you really serious in today's time? What you saw in Virginia, what you saw take place in Virginia, after that, you still, oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that on my team. And again, I'm not saying he had to be vocally all for protests. I'm not saying that he has to tell his teammates, y'all better protest or anything like that. But come on, discouraging them because it makes some people uncomfortable. Protests are meant to be uncomfortable. They are meant to ruffle feathers. A protest, change isn't made with a protest that's really just nice and sweet. Come on, man. Are you serious? Do it. He's basically saying we can do it in a closed environment. And my man Shannon Sharp, in the words of Shannon Sharp, what good is a sit-in when you do it when the restaurant is closed? Like, what good is a bus boycott when you do it when the buses don't run? It's not effective. Not effective at all. So you making those comments is just absolutely ridiculous. But let's get to the real reason he's making these comments. He's saying that because he doesn't want to get fired due to the Browns' poor record that they had last year. Piss poor record. They were 1-15. Yes, 1 win and 15 losses. So he's saying that because he doesn't want to advocate for the protest at all, because that would be an extra incentive to get him fired from the higher ups in the organization. Especially due to the fact that if the team is not a good team, he feels like he's going to get fired. Well, yes, you can get fired. And even if without the protesting, you even doing this right now, discouraging the protests, y'all have a bad season, you still gone. You still bye-bye. And then you're not even welcome back into your own community because of these statements that you're making. And this is the dismissive parts that I don't like. I hate when people say this. We get it. I get what he's doing it for, but like, stop trying to minimize and take the power out of the protest. Stop trying to take power. You taking the power out of the protest and what it stands for when you're doing stuff like that, especially in front of all these people on national television. Like, I hope those things in the world get ironed out. But it's like you're dismissing it. You're not even like addressing it. And this is the thing. Acknowledge that we have issues in this country. Don't just try to brush over it and throw it under the rug and sweep it under the rug, because things won't change like that. You have to make people uncomfortable. People don't like to talk about the race relations in this country, but in order for us to see progress, we have to be vocal about it and acknowledge that those things exist. Especially you as a black man, you can't do that. You're not gonna win doing something like that. Not even in life. Like, and in the way this is the way he articulated it, man. We as a what do you say? We don't. I like to just keep it there. We don't. What we deal with, we try to deal with it as a team. Like, I like to just keep it there. Like, I don't want to keep the world problems in on our football team. And like I said it in the Michael Vick video, if people that are not affected by these issues, they watch sports. There are people that hate that are far from all of the problems and atrocities going on in this country. They're not people of color or anything like that. So they don't have any type of correlation, they don't identify with these issues at all. But what they do watch, they watch sports. And that's a common, like, sports is a common language spread across different people of all walks of life. So if these football players address these problems and talk about it and make these protests, then it will cause more awareness and make people realize that we do have issues in this country. But you like dismissing it and trying to sweep it under the bridge, that's not going to do anything. It's not going to do nothing, and we're going to be stuck in the same position over and over again. Athletes are influential people. They have huge amount of influence, and that's why I used to get upset when people say, why do they want Michael Jordan to say things about social issues in our country? Why should Michael Jordan have to speak out? Because Michael Jordan is a hugely popular figure. If he says something, the world will pay attention. The world will stop and they will listen to what Michael Jordan has to say, because he's regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time. There are people in the Ku Klux Klan that could care less about black people, can't stand black people, but they love them some Michael Jordan. They will get Michael Jordan sneakers and posters all on their wall, but they hate black people. If Michael Jordan come out and make a stand about take a stand about these issues going on in the country and acknowledge it, that we need change, especially amongst people of color and African American people who are innocent and have been innocently gunned down. Like, just imagine what that would do. The world will stop and pay attention. We will get more people outside of our ethnicity fighting for our rights. The people that matter in higher positions will fight for us because they look at Michael Jordan as a popular figure and he has influence.